Good morning, friends. Welcome to another installment of Golondrinas Live Sessions. I'm Laura Gonzalez, the Education and Volunteer Manager at Santa Fe's premier living history museum, El Rancho de las Golondrinas. We are located just south of Santa Fe in the beautiful and historic La Cienega Valley. Today, in celebration of Native American Heritage Month, we've invited two members of the Lightning Boy Foundation to share a bit about the history and tradition of the Native American hoop dance, to help us close out the month of November in honor of the rich and unique heritage of our neighboring Indigenous communities. If you have any questions for our presenters, please type them into the comments and we'll address them at the end of the segment. And now, without further ado, I'm very pleased to welcome and introduce to our stage Master Instructor Sonwai LaRance of the Hopi and Tewa tribe, and co-founder of the Lightning Boy Foundation, Steve LaRance, a member of the Hopi tribe. And take it away, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Good morning. Lamat Delauva, Sengintamu. As Laura mentioned, my name is Steve Wickwire LaRance, and I'm the co-chair of a 501c nonprofit based here in northern New Mexico called the Lightning Boy Foundation. And in my greeting this morning, I greeted you in the Hopi language. Lamat Delauva in Hopi, which is my tribal background, means good morning is the translation. And then my wife is one of the local Pueblo members here in northern New Mexico from the Pueblo of Oke Owinge, which is the home of the Tewa people. And Sengintamu in the Tewa language also is a good morning greeting as well. So we are proud to be coming to you from the historic Las Golondrinas based here in Santa Fe. We've done a number of performances here over the years with Las Golondrinas, but I'd like to explain a little bit about our organization, the Lightning Boy Foundation. And as we talk about that this morning, we'll also do a performance, a Native American hoop dance performance, and we'll also talk about the background and history of this cultural dance that has very, very deep roots here in the Pueblos of northern New Mexico. The Lightning Boy Foundation was formed about 6 years ago in 2016 when we started teaching hoop dancing here in northern New Mexico to empower our Native youth. So the mission of the Lightning Boy Foundation is to nurture and inspire our Native youth through cultural programming. And we do this through various art forms of song, dance, and art. When we first started over 10 years ago with another Pueblo group, we started teaching hoop dancing, and one of our original students was a young boy named Valentino Sigoweno Rivera. And Sigoweno in the Tewa language means lightning. And he was one of our first original students when we started teaching the Native American hoop dance. And in 2015, he was involved in a very serious car accident. He survived the car accident, but a year later in 2016, we lost him due to the injuries that he sustained in that car accident. So after we lost our young dancer, Valentino Sigoweno Rivera, we decided to change our organizational name to honor him. So we changed our group into the Lightning Boy Foundation, and we established this 501c nonprofit. Because one of Sigoweno's wishes was that all the Native American youth would be able to learn this Native American hoop dance and to take it with them throughout their life to keep them culturally connected to their Native American heritage. So that's a little bit about the background of how we started this organization. And as mentioned, we now are the Lightning Boy Foundation, whose mission is to inspire and encourage our Native youth and to keep them culturally connected through cultural programming. The main vehicle that we do this with is the Native American hoop dance. And as mentioned, we also teach them different songs in the Tewa language and other languages. Some of our singers are from different tribes, and also the art forms. And one of the art forms is the dance. Also, we teach them about painting and drawing and other Native American cultural art forms. This morning I wanted to start with some of the teachings that we do is through the Native American flute as well, because in the Southwest there's a mythological figure known as Kokopelli. And the Tewa people, as well as the Hopi people, and many of the Pueblo tribes have lived off the land for centuries here in the Southwest. And our staff of life is corn. Corn has always been the agricultural product that connected the Pueblo people, as well as what they call the three sisters, beans and squash. So the three sisters are our main agricultural products for the Pueblo people are corn, beans, and squash. And our Pueblo men work very, very hard in their fields to have a good harvest in the fall, but they always depend on one of our deities, which is known as Kokopelli, or the humpback flute player. And we believe that in the evenings, the Kokopelli will come to the fields and he'll play his flute, because Kokopelli is actually a fertility deity. He helps things grow. He helps the animals, he helps the people, and he helps the plants grow through his flute playing. So I wanted to start off with just a short Native American song using the Native American flute. And this flute is made out of the red cedar that is local to our community here in the Southwest. This is just one of the art forms that we try to encourage our young people to learn. And some of our young dancers have actually picked up the Native American flute, and they do play. Over the years, we've taught many kids here in the Southwest, and some of them have gone back home to their original Indian communities. But we continue to teach through the Lightning Boy Foundation. And as I mentioned, our main vehicle is a cultural dance called the Native American Hoop Dance. The Native American Hoop Dance, as I mentioned, has deep roots here in the Pueblos of northern New Mexico, and particular credit is given to Taos Pueblo, which is a UNICEF community in northern New Mexico. In its original form, the hoop dance was a healing ceremony. If you were out of balance physically, spiritually, or mentally, it was one of the many ceremonies that the medicine man would perform to bring you back to harmony and balance. But today's contemporary hoop dance actually celebrates the beauty of Mother Nature and all the gifts that she gives us on a daily basis. And so it really represents the circle of life, or what we call the sacred hoop of life. And at this time, I'd like to call out my daughter, Sonwai LaRance, to show you what you're about to see during her performance of the contemporary Native American hoop dance. Sonwai LaRance has been performing all over the world. She started dancing at the young age of 8 years old. And during her dance career, she's danced all over the United States and many different countries throughout the world. She has performed with a major entertainment company as a lead performer. And so she has been able to share this dance with many people all across the world, in Europe, in Japan, in Australia, New Zealand, and also in Canada. So those are many of the places that she's represented our Native culture, dancing the Native American hoop dance. But as I mentioned, the Native American hoop dance, the contemporary dance, actually celebrates the beauty of Mother Nature and all the gifts that she gives us. But it also reminds us about the fragility of our planet. And this is what we try to inspire in our Native youth, our Native American philosophy of being stewards of the earth and taking care of our resources and trying to conserve the beauty of Mother Nature and all the gifts she gives us. So during the performance today, you'll see Shondine, Sonwai, LaRance weave her hoops into many different designs found in nature. And one of the designs that you'll find that she'll create is the eagle design. And the eagle design represents all the winged animals of the skies. So this design represents one of our most sacred birds, the eagle, which is a very spiritual bird for Native American communities, because we always use the eagle feathers in our ceremonies, in our prayers, in our cultural dances. So this is the eagle design, which represents all the winged animals of the skies. Another design that you'll see is the butterfly design. The butterfly design represents all the insects of the world, the ants, the ladybugs, the grasshoppers, and all the butterflies that you see. So this design that you'll see during her performance is representative of all the insects that are a big part of our world that also help pollinate our corn and other plants as well, like the bees. Another design that you'll see is the horse design. The horse design represents all the four-legged animals. It represents the deer. It represents the elk. But it also represents our pets. It represents our cats and our dogs, all the four-legged animals. The horse is a very important animal to many Native American cultures, and we use the horse not only in our work, but in our recreation as well. So this is the horse design that you'll see her during her performance. Another design that represents the agriculture that we're surrounded by is the flower design. The flower design actually represents all the plants, as I mentioned, the corn, the beans, and the squash, but also represents the grasses, the trees, and all the other beautiful flowers that Mother Earth gifts us on a daily basis. Some of the other designs that you'll see is a design called the Ladder of Life. The Ladder of Life design actually is representative of our journey here on Mother Earth on this planet. The Ladder of Life design represents the different stages of our life, from being a baby or an infant, from being a child, a teenager, an adult, and an elder. This Ladder of Life represents our journey here on Earth and all the different stages of our life and all the different responsibilities we have during those stages of life. One of the other designs that might look like an alligator, but we always try to instruct our native Pueblo youth that this design represents the Avanu, or what we call the water serpent. So the water serpent is a Pueblo deity that is found in all the cultures, all the way down to Mexico. The water serpent is a deity that carries our prayers to the higher powers to bring the moisture from the rain to nourish the plants and the animals and the people of which we just spoke of. So these are just some of the designs that you'll see during this hoop dance, Native American hoop dance. And if you have any further questions, I do encourage you to write down, to send in your questions. And at the end of the program, I'd be more than happy to answer some of those questions. But as I mentioned, the hoop dance originated in the pueblos of northern New Mexico. And because of many of the government policies that were toward the Native Americans in the early 18th and 19th century, we almost lost this cultural dance as well as a lot of our language and our ceremonies. But because of the resilience of the Native American people and our strength, we have been able to face these obstructions to our culture and to our language, and we've been able to surmount them and overcome them, and we are continually sharing our culture and our language with our young Native kids, because we do want them to be culturally connected in this modern world. And if they have an anchor to their cultural heritage, then it only makes them stronger as young adults as they go into the world. So we're very, very happy to be continuing through the Lightning Boy Foundation to teach our Native youth their cultural practices. And so at this time, we're going to do a Native American hoop dance for you. Get ready. The song that I'm singing will be a Native American song, and It starts at kola tokali, which means gather my friends, gather my friends. We're gonna, and as the words go through, we're gonna sing the songs about coming together, dancing in harmony and happiness and celebration of life. And so this is what's called a Native American hoop dance song. It could also be considered a powwow song. But we also use the Native American drum, which is another instrument other than the flute, Native American flute, that's very well known. And on my drum here, we have the lightning symbol, which represents our organization, the Lightning Boy Foundation. And the lightning bolt is encircled by what we call the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel also is a healing symbol for Native American people, but it has many, many different representations and interpretations as well. But it actually represents the cardinal directions of north, east, south, and west. And the colors actually reflect the directions that we're talking about. So this symbol is titled the medicine wheel, and I'll be using this Native American drum to sing the song for Shondine Sonwai LaRance's performance. over one hoop off. This last image that Shondine Sonwai LaRance created with her hoops represents our planet, Mother Earth. And I always like to tell people that this is a very important symbol because this is the planet and this is our mother. The planet Mother Earth is why we call her Mother Earth, because she gives us so much beauty and so much gifts on a daily basis. And you saw all the images, the butterfly, the flower, the eagle. But I always also like to explain to people that we all live on this planet. We're all from diverse backgrounds. And one hoop alone, one nation alone, one people alone couldn't stand. But I always like to tell people that one hoop represents people that originated from the European continent. One hoop represents people that originated from the Asian continent. One hoop represents people that originated from the African continent. One hoop represents people that originated from the North American and South American continent. And one hoop represents people that originated from other areas. And when they work together and they come together, they make this beautiful world. So if we can at least remember that and remember to work, to be good stewards of our planet and to work together, then we can have a harmonious and peaceful life on our planet, Mother Earth. I'm very, very proud of Shondine Sonwai LaRance. She is my daughter. She's my youngest daughter. And as I mentioned, she's traveled throughout the world being a cultural ambassador for Native American people through representation of the Native American hoop dance. The Lightning Boy Foundation is working on some very, very great projects for 2022. We hope that you'll be able to visit our webpage, www.lightningboyfoundation.com, because one of the main things that we like to do every year is to take all of our youth, and if you visit our webpage, you'll see photos of all the youth that we work with, or our Facebook page, lightningboyfoundation.com. Every year we work to raise money to take our youth to an event called the World Championship of Hoop Dance, which is held every February at the world-renowned Heard Museum in Phoenix, Arizona. And during that weekend, hoop dancers come from all over the United States and Canada to compete for the title of World Champion Hoop Dancer in 4 categories: the Youth Division, the Teenage Division, the Adult Division, and the Senior Division. And it's a weekend of activities where these dancers are competing to live drum groups and performing their Native American hoop dance, and they're judged on what's called the Likert scale. And at the end of the weekend, the one with the highest points walks away with the title of World Champion Hoop Dancer. So every year we're raising funds to take our youth to that event, and you can look that up under the Heard Museum as well. But also we are working in the fall of 2022 for another major project called the Nakota LaRance Youth Hoop Dance Competition. And Nakota also was my son. We lost him in 2020, but he was the original master instructor for all of our Native American youth. And he went throughout the United States and the world also being a cultural ambassador for Native American people and performing the hoop dance. And so in honor of his memory, in August of 2022, on August 5th and 6th in Santa Fe here, we will be holding a large event called the Nakota LaRance Youth Hoop Dance Competition. So any gifts or help that we can receive is greatly appreciated. We hope that you'll be able to visit our webpage. And if you want to see more of Shondine Sonwai LaRance's performances, please visit her website, sonwai.com, sonwai.com, or you can visit her Facebook page, Shondine, Shandien, LaRance on Facebook. Again, we are happy to be here at Las Golondrinas, this cultural resource here in Santa Fe, to share this Native American hoop dance with you and to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. Thank you.
Hello again, friends. We are back here with Sonwai LaRance of the Hopi and Teowa tribe, a member of the Lightning Boy Foundation, and not just a member, but a master instructor. And we're here to do a little Q&A with her. Hello and welcome back, Sonwai. before we begin, can you tell us a little bit about your name and the meaning behind it?
So my name is Shondine Sonwai LaRance. Shondine is my given name. It is Navajo and it means sunshine. And Sonwai is my Hopi name that was given to me by my so'o, my grandma. Traditionally, 28 days after we're born, we are given our Hopi names, and it is a representation of our clan. So I am from the Sun Clan, or the Dawa clan, and it is pronounced Sonwai, and it means the morning light. So the rays of light that come over the mountains in the morning. So that is what Sonwai means.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And now, what I'm really curious about, and I'm sure some of our viewers are very curious about too, is this beautiful regalia that you have on. It's so beautiful and brightly colored. Can you tell us a little bit about where it comes from, who made it, anything else?
Yes. So this is my powwow regalia, and powwow regalia is very different from our ceremonial regalia. But basically, a powwow is a gathering of all the native nations that come together. So in our regalia, it really reflects what we do and what we dance as well. This is my regalia made by Penny Singer. It is a very bright regalia, so if you'll notice at our powwows, all of the regalia is going to be very bright and colorful. Ooh, and the bees love it. There's a bee following us right now. And I asked my friend, her name is Penny Singer, to create this regalia for me. Like I said, my father is the Sun Clan, but my mother also comes from the Summer Clan. So I had a lot of flowers to represent summer put on my outfit. We always make sure to tell people that it's called regalia, or like you had said before, attire. We try not to use the word costume, because the word costume refers to, like Halloween and dress up and play. And when we wear these outfits, we're not dressing up to play or to pretend to be something we're not. We're dressing up and representing ourselves as people. So this is my outfit, and it's my favorite one.
It's wonderful. It's beautiful. How many different outfits do you have? Do you have a different outfit for different dances that you perform?
I do. I have a couple different outfits. I have this main outfit, which is one of my like I said, my favorite outfit. I have a few more outfits that I had ordered from other artists, and just over time, you grow your closet of regalia, and yeah. So I have a few different outfits. I'm actually gonna start doing fancy dance work again, which is another powwow dance. So I'm actually in the creation of creating my own fancy dance regalia right now. So hopefully I can premiere that to you guys next time.
Oh my gosh, we'd love it. We can't wait to see it. So, for each of the members of the Lightning Boy Foundation, when they're doing a dance, do they all have similar regalia, or is each person's regalia individual to them, or symbolic to them, or their clan, as you mentioned?
Yeah, so like I said, so most of the time the boys would wear a vest and a breechcloth. When I was younger, I would wear a vest and a breechcloth, but as I grew up over time, I decided to wear a dress just because it felt more feminine, and I grew into myself and my personality. Every child is different. You'll notice some of our lightning boy hoop dancers. Some of the females have the traditional tewa style cut, which is a one shoulder cut, or one shoulder kind of shirt. And like I said, like you had said, it does represent where we come from. And so you'll notice, like, some of these people, when with the patterns and the designs, you can tell which tribe they come from, because they've decorated themselves in their tribal symbols. So it does reflect ourselves and our culture and our people as well. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. And on that note, how many tribes are represented in the Lightning Boy Foundation?
We have a good number of representation. We have a lot of our students from the local pueblos. We got the Puake Pueblo, the Nambe Pueblo. I'm from Okewinge Pueblo. I'm also Hopi and Navajo. We do have some Navajo dancers. We also have some Mohawk dancers from New York upstate. And we're always just looking for more. We're just looking for any kind of youth that's around local youth. We have a couple Sioux dancers. So we take whoever we can, and we hope to grab or grow our cultural diversity.
Wonderful. I love that. And a question that I've always been kind of curious about, because you're so talented, and I'm curious, how long have you been dancing, and when When do children usually start dancing?
Well, we try to get our kids to dance as soon as possible. Um, since they can walk, since they can pick up a hoop and start playing, that's what we try to aspire for them to do. I started dancing when I was 8 years old, and I originally learned from my older brother Nakota LaRance, who he started dancing when he was 4 years old. So yeah, I've been dancing for about 20 years now since I was a young girl, and even now, every day I still need practice, just like I did when I was a young kid, and it's just something that you constantly have to work at.
Excellent. Well, it shows. You're very talented. And again, thank you so much for being here today, for being a cultural ambassador for your people, for representing New Mexico out in the world. It's an incredible thing. If you have any questions for Sonwai LaRance, for Lightning Boy, if you want to learn more about their organization, go ahead and type into the comments on our Facebook, follow up on their website, on their Facebook. Make sure to give them some support and come out to Las Golondrinas in 2022 for our 50th anniversary to see the entire group of Lightning Boy share the beautiful and traditional Native American hoop dance. Thank you again, Sonwai, for your time and for your talents. We appreciate it. Thank you all. See you next time. Let's give Sonwai and Steve a huge round of applause. I know there's only 3 of us here in the audience. We hope that everybody enjoyed this as much as we did. My gosh, thank you both so much. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the message. I think it's always important for us to hear those things. And I'll tell you personally, as many times as I've seen these performances, it's never not impressive. It's never not inspiring. It's always just so beautiful and so powerful and so moving. And I think for me today, listening to you explore some of the rich history and the tradition and the symbolism behind these dances just makes it all that much more powerful and more special. So sincerely from myself, from all of us here at Las Golondrinas, we can't express enough gratitude to you for coming out here today to be part of our Golondrinas live session and for always continuing to have this relationship with Las Golondrinas and to come and to share this beautiful cultural heritage with us here at our Living History Museum. So again, thank you both so very much. And again, now, folks out there in our wonderful audience, if you have any questions or any comments for the LaRances, please type those in. We'll get those to you. We're going to make sure to tag Lightning Boy and Sonwai and how you can reach them, how you can contact them, how you can continue to support these cultural ambassadors. They're a great gem, a treasure to New Mexico, and we're very glad to have them. We're very glad to be able to help continue to support them and share their message. As a fellow nonprofit, again, we remind you tomorrow's Giving Tuesday, but giving is always a wonderful thing. So reach out, give a little, help continue to support this wonderful mission of Lightning Boy Foundation. So again, thank you, Steve and Sonwai. Thank you all so much. And thank you to our wonderful viewers, our wonderful audience at home. Thank you for your continued support throughout this last 2021 season. We're very excited to come back in 2022 for our 50th anniversary. Las Golondrinas is turning 50 years, and we hope that Lightning Boy Foundation will come back to Las Golondrinas and help us to celebrate that. Well, thank you all so much. We're grateful for all of you, and we'll see you next time right here on Golondrinas Live Sessions. This video will remain right here on our Facebook page with all the information you need, and it'll eventually be up on our Las Golondrinas channel on YouTube. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.